Hi there, fellow curve flatteners. If there's any of you out there right now, they're starting to come in. Please take your seats, and the show will begin presently. Today is Beautiful Guitar Day on Curve Flattening Concerts, and I think all guitars are beautiful. I have some old, really beat-up looking guitars that I think are beautiful. But there are guitars that are just iconically beautiful sometimes. And the Gibson J200 is one of those. The guitar favored by the Reverend Gary Davis, Emmylou Harris, and plenty of country stars. Elvis played one for a long time. This is a beautiful, it's only about 30 years old, but it's aging nicely, and it's nice rosewood back and sides, the beautiful trim and the inlay and all that stuff. So it's the first of the two beautiful guitars I'll hit you with today. And this first song, I heard this first song first at Woodstock. I was actually at Woodstock, unlike many people who say they were, I guess. I don't know. Maybe everybody who says they were there, because there were a lot of us. But it has always struck me, not simply because that's where I heard it, as the song most characteristic of my generation, certainly my subspecies of what we would call hippies or the young, as typical of the kind of lack of materialism and goodwill and compassion. And so this is by John Sebastian. Well, how have you been, my darling young children, while I have been away in the West? Though you are strangers, I feel like I know you by the way that you greet me and offer to feed me and eagerly ask if I'll stay for a rest. So sit yourselves down in a pile here before me. I wish I had presents for each of your smiles, but I have been traveling without much to carry. Just a beat-up guitar case with tape on the side, a bag and a few signs to help me get right. But here are some beats from the throat of a princess who lived in the time of 200 BC. So divide them and wear them, but be sure that you share them. For I give them in the hopes that you someday will be as lovely as the lady who gave them to me. And here's a strange European guitar string I found on the floor of a club in Marseille. It's thin for the third string and fat for the fourth string. Maybe it's the other way around, but I kept it in the hopes I might use it someday. It's funny how people just keep things that way. Here is a turtle from the Long Island Expressway. He says that his home has been covered in tar. So I gave him a ride on the back of my suitcase. And he says that he'd like to live here in your yard. At long last, his life won't be quite so hard. How have you been, my darling young children, while I have been away in the West? Though you are strangers, I feel like I know you by the way that you greet me and offer to feed me and eagerly ask if I'll stay for a rest. By the way that you greet me and offer to feed me and eagerly ask if I'll stay for a rest. So that's How Have You Been by John Sebastian. See, people are checking in. Nice to see you. Hi, Cozy. We just spoke. And hi. And I'm going to go to the second beautiful guitar, which I'm going to use for a couple tunes. And this guitar was built by my longtime friend, Chris Myers. Well, let me get here where you can see it. And this is an archtop guitar. I don't normally play that many archtop guitars, but this one is so beautiful that I play it a lot. And it's got a maple back inside. That's curly maple or fiddleback maple. You can see the figure in it there. And it's got a kind of full body sunburst. And I'm playing it for you acoustically. It sounds great through an amplifier too, but it's too much work to get that to work here right now. So. And I'm going to play you a Ray Charles tune. I did this on one of the early concerts where the sound was lousy, so I thought I would do it again here. And I see my wife is up there. Hi, Janny. Well, it brings a tear to my eyes when I begin to realize that I've cried so much since you've been gone, and it just keeps on raining on and on and on. And I sit and I cry, just like a little child. These tears of mine they're running wild. And if you don't think you're gonna come home soon, well, I'm gonna drown. Yes, I'm gonna drown in my own tears. Now you know it's true. That into each life well, some rain must pour. Well, I'm so blue here without you, babe. It just keeps on raining I've been so blue, and so all alone. Ever since I woke up and found you gone, and if you don't think you're gonna come home soon, well, I'm gonna drown in my own tears. I'm gonna drown in my own tears. I'm gonna drown in my own tears. I'm running out of air here. Drown. Yes, I'm gonna drown in my own tears. Drown in My Own Tears, and that's a Ray Charles hit, and my version of it, as I always admit, is heavily influenced by the playing of my late friend Steve Mann, great West Coast guitarist. And so it's time for our daily instrumental. Whenever we do one of these concerts, I do an instrumental. This one is going to be a Name That Tune instrumental, because just for fun. So you'll probably know what it is somewhere in the middle there, maybe not at the beginning. This is the Chris Myers Archtop, beautiful guitar, and that was Waltzing Matilda. The unofficial national anthem of Australia. One of those, there are a number, it seems to me, of beautiful, beautiful tunes that just cross over all boundaries. That's one of them. I think that Shenandoah is another one. I'll probably do that someday here. So we come back to the beautiful J200. And there's a little story behind this song. In my younger days, when I was not making money as a guitar player, not that I am now, I had a job for a couple of years working in an accounting department of a small veterinary pharmaceutical firm in the metropolis of Vineland, New Jersey. Anybody from Vineland in the audience? Who knows? And while I worked there, the assistant controller, who was a pretty straight-laced guy, it seemed to me, once called me into his office. We were talking, and I was kind of the hippie in the place. And he confided to me that his real dream in life was to go to Disneyland and be the guy who dressed up as Mickey Mouse. He wanted to leave his accounting job behind, so it inspired this song. And I don't do it very often, but every so often I trot it out. My old friend Steve Black always asks for it, and he couldn't be here today. I warned him that I was going to play it. So, and I see Frank. Hi, Frank. Good to see you there. So this is called Mickey Mouse, and you can sing along on the chorus at home if you want to. Well, I'm giving my notice, gonna leave in 2 weeks. I never have liked working here in the office so often, it feels like a coffin. Just lately it's all come quite clear. And I'm packing my bags, gonna go where it's warm and work outside all of the time. This addition and subtraction drives me to distraction, and I'm rapidly losing my mind. When you're Mickey Mouse, you don't need a house. A trailer can work out just fine. With Pluto and Minnie and a boss like Walt Disney, I know we'll have fun in the sun all the time. So I explained to my wife, she can come if she wants, but I'll go with her or alone. I'll be at Disneyland with 3 fingers per hand, and my ears will have certainly grown. And in my little short pants, I can tell Walter Lance that he can take his woodpecker and shove, 'cause it gets mighty tricky competing with Mickey. He's the mammal that most people love. When you're Mickey Mouse, you don't need a house. A trailer could work out just fine. With Pluto and Minnie and a boss like Walt Disney, I know we'll have fun in the sun all the time. So I've made my decision, I've thought it all out. Some folks might think it's unwise. When you start out an accountant and end up a rodent, it's a step down in most people's eyes. So you might think I'm crazy to go work for Walt, but I think I'm nuts if I stay. to absorb all this tension while I wait for my pension, while my whole life goes drifting away. When you're Mickey Mouse, you don't need a house. A trailer could work out just fine. With Pluto and Minnie and a boss like Walt Disney, I know we'll have fun in the sun all the time. Fun in the sun, fun in the sun, fun in the sun all the time. I don't know if that guy ever got to do that. I never found out, but I hope he did. And I hope you all have a good day, and that you keep safe, stay sane, try to believe the science and not the bullshit. Uh, you know, if you feel cranky, take a nap. That's my buddy Alex's advice. And Alex will be doing a concert in just about 7 minutes, so you might want to stay tuned. Go to his page, Alex Bevan. And I will be back, I believe, on Thursday, and see you then for another little concert. Thanks so much for showing up, and I'll see you all soon.